This is justice. How they mean, but let's have fun with it. So yeah, Batman Grape. Yeah, starting this review, Batman Grape Crusader. Yeah, grape. You know Batman, he loves his grapes. I could just hear the collective. Anyway. Let's continue. Okay. So before I saw with the review, there is one thing which I do know. Because I was watching a video on someone talking about Steven Universe. And a lot of people know that I sort of like Steven Universe and sort of have watched it. I wasn't around sort of like actively watching it, but I kind of like, it was one of the things that I watched alongside it. Same with Gravity Force, that like I watched the people sort of making the videos when it came out. So sort of like third person. And then I watched it. Because I'm like, oh, why don't I watch it? I'm like, oh yeah, this is good. There are a couple of things wrong that I sort of not the greatest fan with Steven Universe. I think somewhat the ending was rushed, but I do understand that that was the CEO's, not the creative decision to do that. Well, yeah, it was, but like they were kind of having their hands forced by the CEOs. But I kind of get that. But a lot of people say that I've heard that this was originally cancelled and like stopped airing, and then it went on to Prime by being rescued and bought by Prime. And season 2's getting made because by the end of season 1, I'm like, oh please, I want more of this. I absolutely want more of it. Some of the villains in this, I love the designs, and I love it. It's so good and it's so fun for me to watch. But yeah, that's all that being said. When they were talking about Steven Universe, they said there's someone who's a prime target for a show to be picked up. Wow, I wonder what that's talking about. Not obviously the Prime series that is on Amazon Prime. But obviously they were talking about how the Batman got rescued. So I was like, okay, I'm going to watch it. So yeah, I know this is a lengthy issue, but this is basically how I came to watch the series. I found this. I was like, okay, here's the thing I'm watching. This is good. It's entertaining. There's a lot of like really fun stuff about this. Definitely with like the stuff that comes around with it. How it's really entertaining and fun to watch. It's absolutely a blast. I'm not actually joking. The villains, the characters, legitimately, the one thing that I will talk about it to heaven and earth is the animation. Which has this sort of like nice, fun, like, sort of style. A bit serious, but looks... And the one thing I also like is, I don't know how well they did it, and if anything's accurate, like, like, the cast, it looks sort of, some of the tech and stuff that they have looks a bit old-fashioned. Because I think Cape Crusader is sort of a 1 year type situation. Like Batman 1 year type situation. Same with, like, the Batman, with, like, the movie they did with the Riddler. But I like this, how Batman did, here's the modern day, Batman first year, modern tech, cops sort of like dealing with thumbprint ID cards, which I like. But I like the idea of like, no technology as much as you would think, limited stuff. This is, I don't know when Batman takes place. But I'd be interested to find out. Batman caped. Okay, maybe that mistake again. Because it is really good. When does... Oh, someone else probably searched it. Takes place in the present day. I highly doubt it. I highly doubt it because, yeah, the 1940s. Also, I love the AI's like modern day. place in the present day. Literally, the next article down. www.emmy.com. The 10-episode series, yada yada yada. Capture criteria is set in the 1940s. So it's not the present day AI. Literally read. Okay. AI, good with people with disabilities, fact. But sometimes it is dumb. Anyway. So I like the fact that you have this sort of like, some of the people, I don't know how accurate it is, but some of the speech is a little bit like old-fashioned sounding, because there's a lot of like older words I don't think get used around anymore. But here's the fun part. The one thing I love, and the one thing I've constantly said, the same with like Spider-Man, I like Batman's rogues gallery. And when you see a couple of villains, they're so good. Firefly, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Firefly, I love. Definitely his machineries. The guy who can do, I don't know his name, but like the final villain who has sound based, who like says the stuff. I always forget names, but his design looks really cool. Yet like his thing is really interesting. Like with this being more serious, you would think like, how are you gonna like but like he does. He still feels intimidation even though he's just making like sound effect type stuff. It's like really fun and really interesting. The one that I did know a bit beforehand, so I was kind of spoiled, was there was a TikTok about this sort of art style. And I was like, wait, which Batman series is this? And it was about like the carnival and about like the sort of like girl who's sort of like taking the youth. I don't know how. Science. Actually, no, that's probably magic people. But anyway, I did see that beforehand, and the reason why I did is because it came across my feed. I'm like, don't know what series this is wrong. I'm pretty sure this might have been when the series might have been maybe in the limbo of like, it could be dropped, it couldn't ever be seen again, sort of thing, before like Prime saved it, which I wouldn't be surprised. But like I saw that and I'm like, oh, this is interesting. I love the TV show, and probably someone was trying to be like, save us. But it looks so good and so terrifying. And even though I knew it going in, so like when you finally see it, it didn't hit me as much. I was like, wait a second, I don't trust you. Moment one, because I know you're the villain. But my favorite has to be Harley Quinn, because like, in the end of the season, 1, 2, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, you sort of see the Joker. But Harley Quinn is already introduced as this sort of thing. And I don't know if they're going to do the Harley Quinn and the Joker being separate entities of chaos. Because Harley Quinn does a different thing. Rather than being like just chaos, she's doing this sort of like anti-hero thing about, rather than criminals, people who take advantage, manipulate, and hurt others. And then she takes those people who legitimately deserve to be there in a certain way and puts them and sort of like oh yeah, and to like give away all your money to like charities and all this stuff. And it's like really interesting, the idea, because it's not wrong, I get it, but it's probably less like extreme ways rather than going from therapy to kidnap. But I love it. Definitely the design. The design of Harley Quinn is really good. And the fact that Harley Quinn is introduced earlier, alongside Two-Face is introduced earlier, really good. Because you see Harley Quinn, you see the, like, oh, I'm nice, I'm a good moral citizen, I'm a criminal. And then you see Two-Face descent into crime, which is really interesting, and I love it. I also love it, sort of like Two-Face, I always forget the names, I just said the name, stupid, is a bit of a dick beforehand. So I was like, oh, okay, I get a bit. But yeah, it is so tragic, and it is so sad, but yeah. So yeah, that's a lot. On the days I've got off work, it might be a bit longer than the days on. So that's why I'm picking and choosing, so it's not going to be in the order that it technically was in. But yeah, I hope you enjoy. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed, and good night.